This is Demolition Smash, and you're listening to In Your Head, and if you don't, I'm going to break your head.
All right, and we're back once again, and now we are joined by Jose Luis Rivera, also one half of Los Conquistadors, and he will be inducted into the New England Hall of Fame coming up June 21st in Warwick, Rhode Island. And all your ticket information is at NEPW, as in New England Pro Wrestling, HOF as in Hall of Fame, .weebly.com. Thank you for being here, Mr. Rivera.
Thank you guys for getting me there in the program. How are you guys?
Doing very well.
Doing good.
Yeah. Now, we just talked to Mario Mancini, and yes, he would like, do you have any stories with Mr. Mancini?
You got a bunch of stories.
Uh-huh. Any ones that you would like to share?
Excuse me?
Any story you'd like to share with Mario?
Oh, Mario, he's a great guy. I told everybody that was a great guy in the dressing room and making laugh and telling joke every time. So that's make it easy for us in the dressing room. And every time we were joking around, and that's great. You know, he's a hell of a guy.
Yeah. Now, I mentioned you're going to be inducted into the New England Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame. When you found that out, you know, what did that mean to you?
That was great. You know, somebody remember you. It's something great. Joseph, he called me and let me know that I'm going to be inducted in the New England Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame. You know, that's be surprise for me. And somebody know, you know, somebody find out that you do something good, something great. And he want the people to know, so he decided to put me in the Hall of Fame. That's great. I love that.
Yeah. Now, when did you start with the WWF?
Well, I started out in 1978, 78, 79. I went there for a couple, you know, for a quick couple of matches, not too long. Mm-hmm. I was in Florida, Tampa, before that. And after I finished Tampa, I went to WWF when they started with my man singing. But I don't like the way they treat the boys, you know. And I left. I put about 2 matches or 3. And I left. I went home. In 2001, I think it was in 82. I went back to WWF.
Yeah. Now, how long had you been wrestling before you went to the WWF?
Well, I started wrestling in 73 when I was about 19 years old.
Yeah.
And then when I was in to the 82 that I went there for a long run, I went there as Mac Rivera. So I was talking to the old man, Vincent Man Sr. So he wanted to change my name because he told me that his name was Mac. You know, my name is Mac. I don't want a Spanish guy named Mac. We had to get a Spanish name for you. So I became with Jose Luis Rivera. So he said that was a Spanish name. So I told him, well, in Puerto Rico, there are 3 million people in Puerto Rico, so about 2 million named Jose. So he said, okay, I like it, let's go with it. So and from 80, at the end of 82, something like that, they sent me to Puerto Rico, so I changed my name and go back as Jose Luis Rivera. So in 83, I went back to work in the Madison Square Garden. I started in Madison Square Garden in December 26, 1983. Yeah. That's when I started the whole run for the WWF. Do a lot of gimmick, a lot of 7 different wrestlers, you know. I started with the first one that I worked there in 78 was by the name of Juan Lopez. They told me to use that name. So, well, I used the name. I wrestled a couple of times with the name of Juan Lopez. And then I started with Mac Rivera. Then they changed to Jose Luis Rivera. Then I started with the Black Demon. Then with the Shadow. Randy Collins and I made the Shadow. Then the Conquistador. Then became the Red Demon. And all those gimmicks that I used in almost 9.5 years that I spent in WWE.
Yeah. That you talk about Madison Square Garden, and Pedro Morales was a champion there for a long time and drew a lot of the Puerto Rican fans. When you were wrestling in Madison Square Garden, did you have a really strong fan base?
Yeah. There was a bunch of Latinos there, a bunch of Puerto Rican. That's why Coco gonna fight there. He's one of the best. He sold out the blood and every time. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of Puerto Rican people in the Madison Square area.
Did you ever wrestle with Pedro?
I've been a couple of times in Puerto Rico and in Massachusetts, some place. He was my mentor. He was the one who told me where to go so I could start in wrestling. When he was a champion, I met him in the boys club in Brooklyn, New York. He was there working out almost every day, and when he got the time, so that's where I met Pedro Morales. He told me how to do things, And I don't even know that, but one of those days I'm gonna wrestle Pedro. It was a great thing to do.
Yeah. Now, you said you wrestled under a lot of different names, and some of those names you're wearing a mask, and sometimes you weren't. Did you prefer wrestling with the mask or without the mask?
It's no different, but with the mask you could do a lot of things. Different without the mask. It's a little hard, but it made no difference to me.
Yeah. Now, did you ever wrestle twice on the same show? Like once as Jose Luis Rivera, then you would put on a mask and a costume and wrestle someone else?
Yes, a couple of times I do that.
Yeah. Did you get paid twice then when you do something like that?
I don't remember, but maybe I don't remember.
You should have, I believe.
Could be they paid, but I don't think so.
Are you going to bring any of the masks and the costumes to the Fan Fest?
I don't got no idea because all the masks I get rid of them. So if I make them before June 21st, so I may that when I was trying to do it, find the guy that do the mask for me in those years, but I had to get somebody else to do it because he's passed away. So.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
You have to get somebody else.
Now, you guys had a pretty good run as the Conquistadors. Did you like that? Did you like that gimmick?
Yes, that was one of the great gimmicks we got. We got a long run with that. That was we started with Shawn Michaels, Marty Jannetty, and Paul Roma, Jim Power, all those guys that we went through. We got a long run with those people. Mm-hmm. And they liked it,
Yeah, there was a lot of great tag teams in that era.
Yep. The British Bulldog, we went around with them. The Bushwackers was there too. Killer Bees.
Yeah, Killer Bees. Obviously, it must be different when you're wrestling, and nothing against either of the teams, but when you're wrestling Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty, that would have to be different than when you're wrestling the Bushwackers. Did you like, wrestling different styles?
Yeah, yes. It was a little hard with the Bushwackers. They do all the crazy things, And we got Jannetty and Michael, it was different. There was a lot of high spot, a lot of moves. So we even got bored one day we get paid. We were surprised.
Right.
Yep.
Did you ever think that Shawn Michaels would go on to be, such a big single star?
Well, that was a surprise because he was there. He not a lot of team, but to get that big that he was something else.
Mm-hmm. Especially
he was a great worker,
Oh yeah, but especially I would think, in the '80s, you wouldn't think maybe a guy that size would go on to become the world champion.
I didn't get that part.
Did you think, back in the '80s? Not that he's really small, but you wouldn't think maybe someone the size of Shawn Michaels would go on to become, the main star of the company.
No, well, that was very hard. You have to be a big guy, 256 foot something. That was the deal before Bing Jr. take over, So all the big guy, the heavy guy, the old man got that idea, working the big guy.
Yeah. No. When you guys...
Yeah, in those days, no matter people that are there will be there.
Yeah. When you guys were the Conquistadors and you were at the Survivor Series, and that was that your first pay-per-view, the Survivor Series?
Yeah, that was the first pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm. And you were part of Big Angle because they had the big double turn with the Powers of Pain and Demolition. But you guys you were right in there right at the end. What was that like for you guys to be part of that big event?
It was great to be in the band, and that was better when we was almost the last team to go out. We was we stayed with the Power of Pain at the end. That was great. Everybody think that we were the first one that want to come out. Even Jesse Ventura said that we don't got a chance with all those guys. So we made them look different than that.
Mm-hmm. Did you see it later on in WWE when it was Edge and Christian? They donned the Conquistadors suit.
Yeah, I see them. I see that Christian and the other two guys that made a Conquistador union. But the people know they never get like the real Conquistador, the original one.
Mm-hmm. This really I remember. I was a kid, and I loved Piper's Pit, and you had a very memorable, stint on Piper's Pit, and then you did them with Boxin Bob. But what was that like being on Piper's Pit?
This was great. Piper is a hell of a guy. He know what he's doing. He's sharp. He do everything. He make you look good. He laugh at you, and he say a lot of things. That's why at the end I told him go ahead, ladies first anyway, because he got the dress on that thing that he wear.
Uh-huh.
So that was a big line. Everybody liked that.
Yeah. And then you had a boxing match, which I would assume would be different than traditional wrestling match with Bob Orton. And what was that like putting together?
Well, I think he got somebody before me. And he don't make it. The other guys don't make it look good. So they asked me if I want to box in. I say, yeah, no problem. I do it. So we went to the boxing match. And it was something different, They liked it, so we don't got not too much time, but we did it.
Mm-hmm. Had you had any boxing experience before that?
Well, I used to practice a little bit, but no boxing, like got in the ring and box, because I used to do boxing with a guy in the dressing room. Like Lanny Papo, we start throwing a couple of punch. Haku, we start doing a couple of punch in the dressing room. That way they asked me if I want to do it, because they saw me before trying to throw punches and trying to box with the guy, so that's why they asked me.
Now, let everybody know, again, you're going to be at the New England Hall of Fame in FanFest. That's June 21st in Warwick, Rhode Island, and we'll have the link right on the website. And there's a ton of people being inducted, along with yourself, and people you can meet and greet with, and just get a couple opinions of some of these people here. Jim the Anvil Neidhart will be inducted, who you'd wrestled with the Hart Foundation. Any thoughts on him?
Well, there's going to be a lot of superstars there, people that I don't see in at least 30 years. They're going to get the chance to meet them and talk to them, to talk about all time, The Neidhart, Valentine, Greg Valentine going to be there. I think Jimmy Snuka going to be there, Superfly, and a lot of people there. I don't know how he do it, Jose. He throw the ball out of the park. He's son of the guy. He I don't know how he do it, but he bring all those superstars together at one time, one night. That's something great. I don't think nobody else could do it. But this guy Joseph is, I don't know. He do it. He do it for the June 21st at the Crown Plaza Hotel for the New England Fanfest 4. So I'm going to be there. I hope everybody go there and see all those superstars. And I like to see all those guys, too. For a long time, I don't see them. For almost 30 years that I don't see a couple of guys,
Yeah.
It's going to be great.
Yeah, really looking forward to it. And want to thank you for coming on and talking to us.
No problem, anytime.
Excellent. And we'll have all the information on the website, and looking forward to the Hall of Fame and the FanFest.
Okay, that will be on the Crown Hotel Plaza in Warwick, Rhode Island.
Yep.
June 21st, that's on Saturday, June 21st. I'm going to be there, so I hope everybody show up to see all the superstars with me there.
Definitely. June 21st, Warwick, Rhode Island. And the website is NEPW, as in New England Pro Wrestling, HOF, as in Hall of Fame, .weebly.com.
Yes, sir. We're going to be there.
Oh, yeah, this is B. Brian Blair, and you're listening to In Your Head live. Check it out.